Hello everybody, I'm Jeff, I'm a wizard, and I feel very inspired to do a little reading for Gemini. This season, it seems. I have no idea why. I'm using the Lenormand, as I hear some folks say. Whoa, I got lost in 3 jokes there and I didn't tell any of them, so we're clear. So this is a reading for Geminis. I don't know what is going on or what the subject will be. I just feel called to do it, so here we go. I'm using the Lenormand and I'm using these Muse playing cards. They have pretty pictures. I'll show you one just for fun. See, they're all very like crisscross, eclectic. I like it. I'm gonna just draw 4 of each. Reshuffle them. I was clicking on another video on YouTube, and then it was about Gemini, and then I've been feeling it. I don't know, and then I just get so sparked, like joyful. Okay. I'm just gonna put them up. All right. 4, 21. Oh, these are nice. Like, they're all up. Okay, it got worse. That's not good. Let's see what happens. I pre-shuffled these. I'm gonna. These are hard to shuffle. Oh. Okay. It wants to talk. Okay, this one is extra, so I'm gonna leave this one there for now. See what that's about. Okay, so they're all gonna be upside down. That's great. That's not nice. Okay. I like working with these pictures because it's really a lot. No system, no logic, just your imagination kind of, and what it reminds you of. So that's cool. But I like. It's frustrating when they're upside down. Since they're all upside down, I'm going to turn them. I'm just going to remember that, because it is nicer to look at. But it was kind of... No, okay, wait, let me try something. Because it is kind of noticeable that the Lenormand cards all came out the right way up, and these all came the reversed. So I feel like it's like this, like it's, you know, mirroring dimensions or something. And that makes sense, because this is sort of the past, and this is also the past card for me, like the 6 of Cups card. Or I still see it as that. Then we have the rats here. Our genie asking wishes. Okay, just gonna settle the camera so you can see the cards. Wellsies, yes, more lights. Oh, nice. Okay. Look at that color. Look at that. Just look at that and you'll be happy. Okay. Now I have to start doing the thinking. Now I have to start. Okay, what is this extra card here? Let's see. What was that about? Okay. If you've seen the previous video where I used this, you remember her maybe. With the green stone, the green jade stone, I believe it was called. Something like that. Let me put it here for now. Okay. Damn, I'm getting a bit lost for inspiration here. I'm definitely onto something with the mirroring here. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave this card on the side. Now, I'll think about it later. Okay, let me think. So, what I want to say is, like, I felt so good right here. I felt so good right here, Gemini, and I feel this is where you're at. I feel like you are, like, you have made your own little home or something. You feel very comfortable in your own little place right now, or in your own skin, at least in your own skin. And it's the dawn, like you feel it. Something's on the rise, and These colors are saying it all. You're feeling it, and you're also feeling... You're feeling lucky in both senses. You're feeling lucky. Okay. Okay, Gemini, this is the story. I'm just gonna tell what I see, or what pops up is, yes, you're happy in your own little skin, in your own home, but there's this like, somebody left, or you had to say goodbye to somebody, or this wasn't by choice. Let's say you're making your own little home alone. That was not by choice, but you're still proud of it anyway, right? It feels good. It feels good, but it's still like a bitterness. Somebody was departed, and somebody ran away from the storm. I feel. Look, somebody who is not somebody. Just somebody who doesn't want to face their emotions. There's like crying and anger and whatever inside, and they're like, bye. Don't want to deal with that. See, this is like our cancer with no guts here. This is a cancer that doesn't want to feel. Okay, so that's on the flip side of this. So yes, you're happy in your own little fort. You fought for your independency, but at a cost. Okay, there was a cost, and that hurt. Period. There is something on the dawn here. There's some really good stuff coming your way, and you feel it, and you don't feel it because it's just magic. You feel it because you worked hard for it, okay? So that's on the flip side of this little treasure coming your way, okay? So this is good things. These are really good things that are happening to you. You are doing it alone. You're alone and unafraid. If you don't know that song, look it up. It's amazing. You're alone and unafraid. But there's a dark side. And then here you have all these good things coming for you, but not a dark side, but I mean, the flip side was you had to work a lot for that. Like, and you can see this is teamwork. So this is first of all saying you did a lot of it alone. And I also see it as like you did all this work alone. Like you've been working hard. So it's only natural that good things are coming for you. Like you've planted good seeds. These trees are full of fruit. Yes. I don't know why I said that so weird. I know it sounded like we all felt it. Sorry, just moving on. Then here, what is happening? I feel like this is then again a mirror. So like, let's divide it into 4 quadrants. What is your challenge now? Okay, so you're in this mode. This is amazing. You're in a high frequency. You're flying high. And you need to catch this wave, and you need to ride it, and you feel it. And I think it's kind of a thing that's just going to happen. I think it's your time, something like that. But this is kind of your challenge right now. This is letting go of the past. This is letting go. This is the brutal hardship of just letting go, of stop being angry about something or someone, and or a past thing and injustice, and kind of leave that behind. You are not that. Look at this little kid afraid, not knowing what to do. You are not that anymore. You're this guy with his castle, okay? And even if you don't have a castle, really take pride in what you have right now and where you came from, okay? Only look back to see how far you have come from now on. Only look back to see how far you've come. Do not look back to see, to look back at that little kid that you were, and to show him what he or her or what he or she can be later on, okay? Just, you are not this little kid anymore, and you are in this double dimension right now, where you are feeling like this, you're feeling all this power, but like emotionally you are still this little kid, and it's time to kind of just let that go, okay? Now here's the trick I can give you how to do that, because that's very well said and done, but how to do that, because when you get angry, when you still feel the pain, when you still feel down, when you still feel like your back just wants to curl up, or you want to go total fetal position, or you know, and the hard part of it is when good things are happening to you, or you should be feeling power, or you should be feeling good or at ease, and you don't. You just don't feel powerful. You just don't feel the strength. You feel like that little kid, and that's where the difficulty is, because we do want to feel good. So how do we help ourselves there? Well, simply by every time you catch yourself feeling like that, acknowledging it. This is where you came from, okay? And then saying the words to yourself, like, now I really want to enjoy this. I really want to let that go. I don't want to be that person anymore. I want to be this person. I want to be the person that is happy and that doesn't have these problems and that doesn't have these insecurities. Keep saying it to yourself. Keep saying the words out loud. Keep telling your body, I want to let this go now. I want to move on, okay? This takes time, and this goes in phases, and you will find that your body reacts to it. You will find pains come up. You will find old memories come up. You will find yourself hungering for old foods again, okay? Go with it. Let your body process it. Let it yourself go back to these memories. Let them sink in. When you get memories again, this is tricky because it happens so like on the fly in your brain. You get these memories from the past suddenly. And when you catch them, you really need to focus in on them. Like, especially these memories that come up when you would say like, it's fine that memories come up from the past. That's not a weird thing, right? But why that specific memory? You haven't thought about this or this for ages, and suddenly now you're thinking about it. You know, like I suddenly thought again about this old film, like cartoon or Disney film. I don't know if it's Disney. The Sword in the Stone or something, about Merlin the wizard. This cartoon, which is amazing. Like I watched it again, and like it's so weird. It's kind of like you feel like your brain using a part that you haven't used in a long time, and that's good because that's your gateway to sort of these emotional, to rewire these things again. Okay, so you're taking good memories and you're integrating them back into you, and you're kind of letting go of the past. So this is like a sifting process that takes time. That's all I want to say. It takes time, but keep telling yourself that and allow the memories to come up. Don't push them away. Don't be angry at yourself when you do this, because you are going to regress. You are going to become that kid again. You are going to feel stupid. You're going to feel like you're going to sit there on your throne and you're going to feel so alone. Let it happen. Let it happen. It's okay, it's okay. And then when you want to cry about it, also let that happen. Just don't push those emotions away, but then don't like treat yourself as if you would that little kid, you know, like you wouldn't let them go drama queen all day about it either. You would tell them that's enough now, okay? Like you can be sad about it, but we can't let this affect our lives like this, okay? We have to learn to control these emotions. So take that little kid along that ride a bit, okay? That's all it needs. It's a little push in the back, because for you're this big strong person, but for that emotional body inside of you, that pain body, it's still stuck in an emotional young age. So talk to that part as if you would to a kid, because you're a big, like, strong person with a very smart mind of an adult, but that emotional part of you is still the kid. So you need to kind of allow it to be that, like, irrational, stupid kid that has problems dealing with difficult concepts, okay? Because it needs to learn, you need to learn, okay? So that takes time, and allow yourself to be unreasonable, irrational, allow yourself to be silly, or allow yourself to be so angry and so frustrated and so out of whack. Just let it be. Let yourself be a young kid that needs to learn to deal with these emotions, okay? So I'm sorry I'm going into this, but I think this is an important part of the process that you're going through, and I think understanding it will give you a lot of comfort and lessen the pain, because you will stop fearing it so much. You will start almost enjoying this process, because you will recognize, even when you're feeling this pain, that it is healing that is happening, and it is you that is unlocking new things, okay? And this growth, it is growth. It is growing pains, okay? So you need to take that kid along for the ride. You need to let it grow up, but you are not the kid anymore. So see that as the part of yourself, not the whole anymore. Don't let it take over anymore. We're done, okay? That little kid needs to grow up as well, period. And they can do it in leaps and bounds, this emotional body, but it just needs some of these places where like painful things for you happen. It needs that push in the back, and it needs also that space to breathe, to just say like, yeah, I feel like this and it's all fucked up and I don't know what to do. And it's horrible, it's horrible, it's horrible, it's horrible, period. You know, you need some space to be that, you know, to go to his room, smash the door, yell at, I hate you, I never want to talk to you again, I wish you were all dead. Bye, you know? And then when it gets hungry, it'll come back down. It needs to be that. It needs to be that, period. Same thing here, like all these fruits that are coming from your beautiful trees that you have grown. It's time for you to step into that place where you are actually allowed to have all these amazing things happen. Like you're allowed to have this bunch of money and all these options and all this attention and all these good things happen to you for no reason, okay? You don't need to validate that. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to share. You don't need to explain yourself. You do not need to explain yourself. That's the mindset you need to get rid of all dusty ideas in yourself that you have learned from survival mode, okay? These are the rats. You have grown up in a place where you needed to. It was each for its own, like, how do you say that? Like, every man for himself, right? So you grew up in a lack mentality, and those things are still like holding you a bit in a prison because you still are not allowing yourself to have certain wins or to have certain good things happen to you because of just, you have these warped ideas still of how the world works and how people work and how they treat you, how love works, how you get that. It's still a bargaining system in your head, and you think that getting maybe all this money or all this power is a lot of responsibility. You have to own up to that, then you have to step. No, that's not like. See, you're putting so much weight on these things that doesn't have to be there, and that's again, this is a sifting process. You are letting go of these old programs, but again, knowing that it is happening and being aware of it will speed it up tremendously. See these threes here, this is important. This is like telling me these old programs, these are things that you learned from other people, okay? This is pain, this is rejection, this is poverty or restrictions, even with your body. Like say somebody taught you that you can never look like this, you can never look like that. These are all ideas that you learned from other people that need to go. They did not belong in your base programming. They are not the way that the world works. They are not the law. There are no rules. These are ideas from other people that are built on ideas, that are built on ideas, that are built on words, that are written in old books. And these are all of these, from the moment you use words, from the moment you're using letters, you have an error margin. And that builds, because if you use those words to build phrases and you use those phrases to build books or concepts or even laws, the error margin increases. So there's, like, let's say you have a law, and you let 100 people read the same law, then the chance that one or two or even more of these people understand something completely different than the rest of them increases. So let's say you have a lot of laws and you have those laws translated into other languages, into other cultures, those error margins increase even more. So you have these laws or these things that go out to society, and there are hundreds or thousands of people that are understanding something completely different than the rest of us. See? So these are all ideas built on ideas that people don't know what they're talking about. They're all a blah, 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 and they're all just telling what they learned from each other. You need to use that for yourself now, okay? So, okay, if actually I can kind of choose which ideas I believe and which I don't, I'm gonna choose the one that make me feel good and then help me out, okay? So, getting rid of that lack mentality is saying, you know what? I can be rich for no reason. I can do that all for myself and I don't have to share that with anybody and I can just have fun all my life. That is perfectly fine. That is actually the best thing for me, and actually doing that will sort of put me on a path that will help other people the most. You know, you can believe that. You can choose whatever you want to believe as long as it stops making you feel bad. But like, again, if the shame comes up, if there is a gnawing feeling comes with that ideas, allow it to be. You're sifting, let these ideas flow through you, and then suddenly you're gonna feel like eating a snack that you haven't eaten in 20 years, and that's gonna trigger a talk that you had with your grandma that's completely unrelated but somehow links you to another memory. It's gonna bring these old ideas up, and you're gonna suddenly just feel it shift when you're gonna look at old memories and you're gonna think like, huh, that is a weird thing for my parent or for that person to say, or why did I feel like that? That's something actually I wouldn't find logical anymore. And that's where you change. That's where you're like, or suddenly you find yourself like me, like suddenly you go into a store and you buy stuff and you ask for the receipt and you really look it over at home and you start like circling things like, placing them into categories like what did I need? Just sort of for the curiosity of like, how much did I actually spend on just these items that like I need or these I don't need? Like just to see like, well, how is this money fluctuating? How is these things going? And it came out of a very natural place, which is something I wouldn't have done for my entire life. Okay, and suddenly it came from a very natural place out of because some kind of block got lifted or some kind of resistance to it get lifted, and suddenly these things become fun to me like any other puzzle becomes fun. You know, because suddenly I got rid of this idea that it doesn't matter and I shouldn't pay any attention to it because money doesn't matter, right? Something like that I used to protect myself. Finally, it's like I could tell myself I don't need it to protect myself anymore, so I can kind of lift that veil, look behind the door, and finally use that space that I've always been shutting myself off from out of maybe because I needed to. I needed to use that to protect myself because behind that door was a lot of pain. But after a while, that pain is gone, but you're still hiding behind that door. You're still in the closet. So you have to open that door again and kind of face it to see like, oh, actually it's not so bad. Actually it's fun now. But until you come out of the closet, you're not gonna know. That's the brave part, okay? And you need to first acknowledge. And how to get over that fear is to acknowledge why you put yourself there in the first place. And that's where these memories come up, to kind of guide yourself, to just let yourself see it's safe now. You can let those defenses go and finally allow the good things to come. Because you blocked yourself, but you blocked yourself from bad things, but also from the good things. And now the bad things are gone, so now the good things can come. Wow, that analogy was way too long. I think you got me. So that was the mirroring here. So I'm just going to put this away, like let them shrivel away. But then here, these are the last two cards that are my mystery. So this is again the past. This is like letting go of the past, letting go of like, you know, there's this sadness in this card with this ominous... it's done, okay? The past is the past. You're not the same person anymore. You can let that go and you can just start looking at life as a new person. You've been reborn. New year, new you. Just let it be. Let it be. There's no need to be loyal to anything from the past anymore, okay? And I think this is sort of codependency, I think. Yeah, this is sort of tit for tat mentality that you're gonna have to let go of. This belongs to this rat mentality. You know, it's not a bad thing. You need to recognize this. This is not, this is not an evil thing. This comes from survival. This comes from a place where it's not easy or where people are like in pain. And you learn these traits from your parents who did not mean you any harm. They just learned the same thing. They were just trying their best to feel better. They're trying their best to feel good like anybody else. But they learned these ideas based on ideas like everybody else, but they didn't realize how harming it is, because it's like a pendulum that swings. So it's kind of like you have this blind spot, and in that blind spot, it's hard to explain, but people are not doing this so consciously, but they are still doing it. And you breaking from that cycle is just becoming aware of that, forgiving these people, letting go, and then just trying your hardest to get out of it, okay? And recognizing that there is another way. And you don't have to put yourself in the hands of a genie or limitations, this limitation mindset, like you only have 3 wishes or you only have 1 chance. Wow, I'm burping so much. This is so much for myself. Like, let go of that idea of that was my only chance, that was my only option, that's the one, or that was the lottery ticket and I failed, I knew it, or this is, let go of this sort of world where like the chances are limited and you need to find this genie that gives you 3 wishes, but if you don't make the wishes right, you can go horribly wrong and then you deserve it because it shouldn't be that easy. Ugh, let it all go. That's such a horrible, torturing way of looking at it, and it all has the same underlying idea of don't expect the good things to happen to you because you're going to get disappointed, and that's a protection that needs to go, okay? Because yes, we do expect good things to happen to us because that is natural, okay? And even when it's not true, looking at life that way makes it so much better. So take it from there, okay? So even if magic is not real, even if all of this is bullshit, looking at life in that way, looking at the good things that are coming, just expecting them, offers you a better life. That's been proven. Millions of books have been written about it. It's been spoken about throughout the history of mankind. Positive thinking works. It basically, shortly, it's just adapt the philosophy. Let the sun come out. Let a new world come out. Let a new dawn rise. Okay. Say goodbye. She's got her coat on. She's got her scarf. She's on the way to the plane. Like she's on the airport. She's just looking at the past. She's like seeing the sun go down. Right. She's gonna go on that flight, and she's gonna see the sun come up. Yes. Yes. Okay, Gemini. I've been Jeff. I hope this helped anybody or not. I hope my fingers were nice to look at. Have a wonderful day and see you soon. Bye.